After more than 30 years of marriage, I thought I understood loyalty. I believed in commitment. I believed that when two people made vows, those words meant something. But here I am, telling strangers on the internet how my wife, my partner, my best friend, betrayed me in a way I never thought possible. We met young. She was 22, I was 25. We built a life from scratch, no fancy cars, no big vacations, just hard work, children, and evenings sitting side by side on the porch. To anyone watching, we were the picture of stability, and for decades I never questioned it. I trusted her completely. When she said she was working late, I believed her. When she traveled to visit her parents, I waved goodbye without a doubt in my mind. But trust is a funny thing. Once it breaks, you look back and realize there were signs you ignored. The unexplained phone calls, the sudden interest in going to the gym, the way she started guarding her phone like it was some kind of treasure chest. At first, I thought I was being paranoid. We'd been together so long, I told myself she would never do this to me. I was wrong, so wrong. This story isn't about anger, it's about betrayal, about how a man can give everything, his youth, his loyalty, his soul, and still be left standing alone, wondering if any of it was ever real. Looking back now, the red flags were everywhere. But when you love someone, you don't want to see them. It started small. She began dressing differently. For years, she wore simple clothes, comfortable, practical. Then, out of nowhere, she started buying new outfits, putting on makeup just to run errands. I remember one night she said she was going to meet her friend for dinner. She walked out the door in high heels I hadn't seen in a decade. I thought, good for her. She wants to feel young again. I had no idea those heels weren't meant for me to admire. Her phone became her lifeline. She would sleep with it under her pillow. If it buzzed, she grabbed it faster than I could blink. And when I asked, she said, "It's just work." Don't worry, I wanted to believe her. One evening, I walked past the bathroom while she was showering. Her phone lit up on the counter. A man's name, a text preview that read, "Can't wait to see you again." My heart sank, but I froze. I didn't touch the phone. I didn't confront her. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Weeks went by, and the excuses piled up. Late nights at work, girls' trips, family visits. But her family never mentioned seeing her. Her coworkers never mentioned those long nights. The doubt grew heavier by the day. I stopped sleeping. I started drinking more. I told myself I was imagining things, but deep down, I knew something was wrong. One night, I asked her directly. I looked her in the eye and said, "Are you seeing someone?" She laughed. Not a nervous laugh. No, a cruel laugh. Like the question itself was ridiculous. She kissed me on the cheek and said, "Don't be silly." But that laugh stayed with me. It was the kind of laugh that hides the truth, and I couldn't shake it. The night I found out the truth is burned into my memory. She said she was going out with friends again. I decided to follow her, not because I wanted to catch her, but because I needed peace. I needed to know if my suspicions were destroying me from the inside, or if they were real. I drove a few blocks behind her. She didn't go to the restaurant she mentioned. She didn't go to her friend's house. Instead, she parked outside a small hotel. And then I watched as a man, younger than her, walked up to the car. She kissed him like she used to kiss me. Long, passionate, like he was the only man in the world. I couldn't breathe. My hands shook so bad I almost dropped my phone. I wanted to storm out, to drag her home, to scream, but instead I sat there frozen, watching my marriage end in the dim glow of a hotel parking lot. When she came home later that night, she smelled of cheap cologne that wasn't mine. I didn't say a word. I just looked at her, and for the first time, I saw a stranger standing in my kitchen. The next day, I confronted her. At first, she denied it. Then she cried. Then she begged. And finally, she admitted it. It wasn't one affair. It wasn't a mistake. It had been going on for years. She told me she felt unseen, that I worked too much. She said the other man made her feel alive. Alive. What about me? What about the decades I gave her? The roof over our heads, the food on the table, the loyalty she never had to question. I realized then that no matter what excuse she gave, it didn't matter. Cheating is not about what the other person lacks. It's about selfishness. It's about betrayal. After the truth came out, everything unraveled. Our children were grown by then, but they could sense something was wrong. I tried to shield them from it, but lies have a way of spreading. Eventually, they found out, and their mother, the woman they loved, was no longer the person they thought she was. The house felt cold. Meals were silent. Every time I looked at her, I felt anger boiling inside me. But more than anger, I felt emptiness. I filed for divorce. It wasn't easy. 30 years of shared bank accounts, memories, photographs, it all had to be divided. But the hardest part wasn't the paperwork. It was accepting that the woman I loved no longer existed. She begged me to stay. She promised to change. She swore she'd cut him off. But once the trust is broken, it's gone forever. Every time she left the room, I'd wonder who she was texting. Every time she smiled, I'd wonder if it was meant for someone else. Friends took sides. Some said I should forgive her, that everyone makes mistakes. Others told me to run and never look back. But at night, when the house was quiet, only one voice mattered, my own. And my voice told me, "You deserve better." So I walked away, not just from her, but from the life we built together. And that was the hardest part. It's been years since the divorce, but the scars remain. I won't lie, I still wake up some mornings and feel the weight of betrayal on my chest. I still wonder how a woman I trusted with everything could throw it all away. But I also learned something valuable. I learned that betrayal doesn't define me. Her choices don't erase the man I was or the husband I tried to be. And if you're listening to this, if you've been betrayed, I want you to hear me clearly. It's not your fault. You gave your love, you gave your time, you gave your loyalty, and someone else chose to abuse it. That choice is theirs, not yours. The road forward is not easy. Nights are lonely. Holidays feel empty. But slowly, you build yourself again. You learn to laugh without her. You learn to smile at new faces. You learn that life, even after betrayal, can still be worth living. And maybe, just maybe, you'll meet someone who values loyalty the way you do. Or maybe you'll choose to stay alone, and that's fine too, because peace is better than walking on eggshells. Peace is better than lies. If you've been cheated on, don't let it destroy you. Let it rebuild you into someone stronger, because at the end of the day, betrayal is not the end of your story. It's just the beginning of a new one. And for me, my story continues, without her, but with the hope that tomorrow will be brighter than yesterday.